What if everything you were taught about money was wrong? Not slightly wrong, completely, fundamentally wrong. From the moment you were old enough to understand money, your parents, teachers, government, and employers handed you a financial playbook. Go to school, get good grades, get a stable job, buy a home, save money, retire someday. But most of those rules were never designed to make you wealthy. They were designed to make you manageable, predictable, a reliable worker and a reliable consumer. Someone who spends what they earn, borrows what they cannot afford, and stays just comfortable enough to keep going. Today, we are exposing the biggest financial lies Americans were taught about money and what the truth actually looks like instead. Stay until the end, because lie number 5 will genuinely make you angry. The first lie is this: go to school, get good grades, get a good job, and you will be financially secure. For one specific generation in one specific economic era, that system actually worked. Today, it barely does. The average college graduate in America leaves school with massive student loan debt before earning their first paycheck. Pensions have largely been replaced by 401k plans that many employers barely contribute to. Job security barely exists anymore, and a degree no longer guarantees financial stability. Education still has value. The lie is believing this single path alone is enough to build wealth in the modern economy. It is not. The second lie is that your home is your greatest asset. Americans were taught for generations that buying a home was the ultimate financial move. Build equity, achieve the American dream. And yes, real estate can absolutely build wealth. But your primary residence is usually not an asset in the truest financial sense, because it constantly takes money out of your pocket every single month through mortgage payments, taxes, insurance, repairs, maintenance, and HOA fees. As Robert Kiyosaki explained in Rich Dad, Poor Dad, an asset puts money in your pocket while a liability takes money out. True wealth-building assets generate cash flow. Rental properties, dividend stocks, businesses, and index funds continue paying you whether you work or not. The third lie is that saving money is the key to wealth. Most people were taught to put money in a savings account and be responsible, and saving is important. Emergency funds matter. But saving alone will never make you wealthy because inflation quietly destroys purchasing power. The average savings account earns less than the inflation rate. That means your money loses value every single year while sitting in the bank. Saving protects money. Investing grows money. That is why wealthy people invest in assets that outperform inflation, such as index funds, businesses, and real estate. Save for emergencies. Invest for wealth. Those are two completely different goals. The fourth lie is that debt is always bad. Consumer debt can absolutely destroy people. Credit card debt with massive interest rates is dangerous. Financing things you cannot afford is a trap, but not all debt is equal. The wealthy use strategic debt, also known as leverage, to build more wealth. A real estate investor borrowing money to buy a profitable property is using debt as a tool. A business owner taking loans to expand revenue is doing the same thing. Consumer debt costs money. Strategic debt can make money. The lie is believing every type of debt is the same. The fifth lie is that hard work alone gets rewarded. This may be the most damaging financial lie ever told to working Americans. From childhood, people were taught that if they worked hard enough, employers would eventually reward them with promotions, raises, and financial security. But employment does not really work that way. Most employers pay workers the minimum amount required to keep them from leaving, not the full value they generate for the company. Studies consistently show that Americans who switch jobs often increase their salary far faster than those who stay loyal and hope to be rewarded. Hard work matters, but hard work without strategy, negotiation, ownership, or investing often just creates wealth for someone else. Work smart, not just hard. The sixth lie is that investing is only for rich people. Millions of Americans say they will start investing when they have more money. That belief keeps them broke. Today, investing has never been more accessible. You can buy fractional shares of the S&P 500 with just a few dollars. Apps like Fidelity, Vanguard, and Schwab allow people to invest directly from their phones. The barrier is not money. The barrier is believing you need a lot of money to begin. Even small amounts invested consistently over decades can grow into enormous wealth through compound growth. Investing is not only for rich people. Investing is how regular people become wealthy. The seventh lie is that you need to look successful to become successful. America has created a culture where people feel pressure to perform wealth. Luxury cars, designer clothes, expensive vacations, business class flights, social media lifestyles designed to look impressive. But research from the Millionaire Next Door found that many actual millionaires drive used cars, live in modest homes, and avoid unnecessary luxury spending. Why? Because they are focused on building wealth, not displaying it. Every dollar spent trying to look rich is a dollar no longer building real financial freedom. The eighth lie is that the stock market is too risky for regular people. Yes, markets crash. Volatility is real. The stock market moves up and down unpredictably in the short term. But long-term history tells a completely different story. The S&P 500 has historically recovered from every major crash, including the Great Depression, Black Monday, the dot-com crash, 2008, and COVID. The people who stayed, invested through fear, became significantly wealthier over time. The real risk is often not investing at all and leaving money sitting stagnant while inflation quietly destroys its value year after year. The ninth lie is that your employer's retirement plan is enough. Millions of Americans trust that their 401k alone will carry them through retirement. For many people, it will not. Retirement today requires multiple income streams. A 401k is a starting point, not a complete plan. Wealthy people build income through investments, businesses, Roth IRAs, real estate, dividend stocks, and multiple assets that continue producing cash flow long after they stop working. Retirement planning is ultimately your responsibility, not your employer's. And the final lie is that money cannot buy happiness. Money alone does not create permanent happiness. That part is true. But financial stress absolutely creates misery. Living paycheck to paycheck, constant debt, being one emergency away from disaster. Those realities destroy peace of mind, relationships, and mental health. Money is not just about luxury. It is about options, freedom, security, the ability to say no to things that do not serve you and yes to things that do. That is what wealth truly buys, and nobody should ever feel guilty for wanting financial freedom. Those are the biggest financial lies millions of people still believe. You did not create these beliefs, you inherited them. But once you know better, you can build differently. The modern economy rewards people who think differently about money, people who invest, people who build assets, people who understand leverage, ownership, and long-term thinking. The reality is that most financially successful people are not necessarily smarter than everyone else. They simply learned a different set of rules. While most people spend their lives trading time for money, wealthy people spend their lives building systems and assets that continue producing income whether they work or not. That difference changes everything. The earlier you understand this, the more time you have to take advantage of compound growth, investing, and financial discipline. Because time is one of the most powerful wealth-building tools that exists. The truth is that becoming financially secure is usually less about earning a massive income and more about consistently making better financial decisions over long periods of time, avoiding destructive debt, investing consistently, living below your means, building assets instead of liabilities, understanding how money actually works. These things may sound simple, but over decades, they completely change a person's life. Most people never hear this information explained honestly because the system benefits when people stay financially dependent, financially stressed, and financially uninformed. That is why financial education matters so much. Once you truly understand money, you start seeing the world differently. You stop chasing appearances and start chasing ownership. You stop focusing only on income and start focusing on assets. You stop relying entirely on employers and start building security for yourself. And over time, those small mindset shifts create massive differences in financial outcomes. Comment below which lie hit you the hardest and which one you believed for the longest time. And next week, we are breaking down exactly how to go from broke to your first $100,000 step by step. Subscribe so you do not miss it.